There's a war brewing in the Caribbean. On one side,
My fellow Nigerians, do you know why Donald Trump has never bombed Nigeria? Because he's busy with Venezuela this time around. You can watch the video, okay? And I pray that after he deals with Venezuela, Nigeria is next. Please, just watch the video. How he's preparing war on Venezuela.
there's a war brewing in the Caribbean. On one side, the lethal American military. On the other, a desperate Venezuelan army. The guns are in place, the warships are moving in. All that's left is to pull the trigger. The question is, will US President Donald Trump do it? And we can tell you the indications are not good. Yesterday, an American warship sailed into the Caribbean, and it's not just any other warship. It's the largest and most advanced carrier in the world, the USS Gerald Ford. 100,000 tons of lethal firepower. This ship was supposed to be in the Mediterranean, but the US cut short its deployment. Instead, it was rerouted to the Caribbean. Experts say this is a strange decision for the US military, because these are not nimble vessels. These are floating islands. They sail with a lot of firepower and support. Take a look at this. 5,500 soldiers, 75 attack and surveillance aircraft, which includes FA-18 fighter jets, and 5 missile-guided naval destroyers. This is what the Gerald Ford is bringing to the Caribbean. A lot of additional firepower is already there. There are 10,000 US soldiers in the region. Around half of them are in Puerto Rico. This is an overseas US territory. It's around 800 kilometers from Venezuela. Back in September, the US military had reopened a base on this island. So clearly, they were planning to mobilize. Other than the Gerald Ford, the US has 9 warships in the Caribbean: amphibious assault ship Iwo Jima, transport dock San Antonio, destroyer Jason Dunham, destroyer Stockdale, destroyer Gravely, missile cruiser Lake Erie, missile cruiser Gettysburg, combat ship Wichita, and nuclear submarine Newport News. Plus, you have the air assets, the B-52 strategic bombers, the B-1B supersonic bombers, the F-35 fighter jet, and the MQ-9 Reaper drones. All of these assets are deployed in the Caribbean. Now, I could detail each of these weapons, but I'm sure you get the idea. You don't order this kind of firepower for no reason. You're either preparing for war or you're hoping to scare the opposition into submission. So which is it? In public, the other side is not acting scared. Yesterday, Venezuela staged a military drill. Their defense minister promised to protect the homeland.
We are lovers of peace. We deeply love peace. We do not want war either here or anywhere in the world. But if they come to touch Venezuela, well, they will find us here. Walk through the streets, walk through the barracks, walk through the communes, walk through the communal militia units, and there you will see a people determined to defend this homeland to the death.
I know it sounds very brave, but trust me, the Venezuelans are scared. If the US military is at your gates, anyone would be. Now, this conflict began over drugs. The US accused Venezuela of smuggling drugs into the US. They say President Nicolas Maduro is behind it. In fact, the US has a bounty for Maduro, $50 million for his capture. For the capture of the Venezuelan president, $50 million. Many of Trump's advisors want him gone. They're pushing for a regime change in Venezuela, and their tactics have been diverse. The most visible tactic has been the airstrikes. The US military has struck 19 Venezuelan ships in the region. Washington calls them drug boats. No evidence, no trial. We are supposed to take their word for it. Put together, these strikes have killed 76 people since September. Even US allies are not okay with these attacks. Look at the UK, for example. In September, they stopped sharing Caribbean intelligence with the United States. Do you know why? In a sort of protest against the strikes. Now, the UK has 5 overseas territories in this region. They gather a lot of intel from those sites, but none of it will be shared with the US. Yet Trump doesn't seem to care. He has carried out more attacks since September, but will it go beyond that? Well, capability is not a question. The US military is far superior to Venezuela. They could neutralize them in weeks, if not days. But what happens after that? As of this week, the US has 15,000 troops in the region. That is not enough to occupy a country of almost 30 million people, so they can beat Venezuela but not hold it. Which brings us to some of the possible scenarios. Number 1, limited strikes to weaken Maduro. Reports say crucial military targets have been identified. If Trump agrees, they could be hit. Number 2, targeting national resources. Oil is the mainstay of Venezuela's economy, and most of their oil is concentrated in the eastern part. Perhaps the US will try to take out those facilities or maybe even take over them. And finally, possibility number 3, Maduro folds. He stands alone against the US. Yes, China and Russia have offered political support, but that means little during a war. So Maduro may choose to strike a deal with Donald Trump. In fact, he's already tried once. Reports say that he made a proposal to the US last month. He offered all future oil and gold contracts to American companies. He also promised to end deals with Russia and China. Simply put, he tried to sell his country to the US, but apparently Donald Trump rejected it. And that's the tricky part here.
Have you watched the video now? I hope it's clear in your eye now that America is not playing. Nigeria now is next.